ghosts, guardians, and gamers to Destiny 2. This is Spinfoil TV. I am your host, Hako, also known as Artist Poet. A second, I gotta get my headband off. Anyway, so yeah, like the title says, I'm going to talk a little bit about sunsetting. I'm going to give you my thoughts, my strategies, my tactics, my tips. Maybe, who knows? Um, so part of the group that's getting sunsetted in the fall is going to include my ever so fun and favorite activity, arena activity, the Black Armory Forges. Now, I have been a big fan of the Black Army since it landed a few seasons back. In fact, I've been a fan so much so that I have gotten numerous Black Armory special bounties, which I have, eagerly completed, all except for the raid one, which I immediately deleted because I just don't play the raids. And I'll tell you, like I've said so many times before, why don't I play the raids? Uh, I don't have the patience. Short answer. I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience to deal with full team wipes. I don't have the patience to deal with stoned out fire team members. I don't have the patience to deal with potatoes who are incapable of picking up the curve after the fourth wipe. Um, I don't have the patience to deal with mostly. And this is the real reason here. This is the a number one top list. Bungie, please, if you're listening, or if somebody watches this who has the ear of Bungie, repeat it and pass it forward. I'm tired of getting through an activity, getting close to finishing getting close to the next checkpoint. Not even completing the raid. I'm going to be ultimately charitable here. I am tired of getting close to completing a checkpoint to be kicked out of the game and sent to orbit on Anteater, on B, on Baboon, on Beef Coon, what the fuck ever. I don't care. It's just not. They're not. No, no, totally done. So I don't do the raids. So if sunsetting weapons is all about encouraging people to go into the raids and collect the exotics that are in there that are really good, I'll grant you that. It's not like the loot in there is not enticing. I mean, there's a quite a bit a number of weapons that I would really love to have. And I'm sorry for. I don't edit my videos. This is a live stream. So you get to sit here and wait with me as the game fucking chugs along with the inventories. So looking at weapons, I've got all but the Izanabi's Burden. That's really just about me gathering my fire team and me going in and doing that last quest step. Um, the Teraba is the Crown of Sorrows raid. Divinity. Divinity is supposed to be an exotic quest or challenge, but I've heard it comes out of the Shadow Keep, which I don't have that DLC for reasons. Um, the Legend of Arceus, again, same thing. Last Wish raid, not going to get that ever. Not going to get that one probably. Not going to. Well, I could get this one if I go to Shadowkeep. This is specifically locked up behind Shadowkeep. Um, this one also I think is locked up behind Shadowkeep. There's a lot of exotics that are held back in the DLC, which I mean that's okay. I can understand that that's going to be something to encourage people to buy the DLCs and want to go ahead and explore them. But from what I've seen out of Shadowkeep, there's only one, the Xenophage gun that I want, and it is. I don't even care about Assassin's Cowl. Give me a fucking break. I do want to get my Reju's harness, and I do want my bombardiers, but I've yet to get those, and they're supposed to be available from Zur. I've never seen them sold at Zur. I have never gotten an engram drop from them or anything else. So I guess I have to do like a heroic nightfall or some bullshit. But anyway, um, now I pursue the guns in the forges, but I don't. But I don't worry about. I don't worry about getting the armor too much anymore because the armor doesn't accept seasonal mods, and right now I've just been in love with the idea of powerful friends. I mean, who isn't? So as you can see here, I'm pulling down 113 in mobility and 93 on intellect, and that's because of powerful friends being equipped. Now, the cool thing about this is that the tooltip says you have to put it You have to put an arc mod in the armor somewhere else. But if you select this, we might have to wait for the lag. You'll see that I lose the 29. I lose 20 points if I don't have it. But 20 points is the buff. Like I said, I would do the raids if I didn't have to worry about lag like that. Sometimes you have to switch out your inventory on the fly. I like to be able to have options. I don't like being stymied, drugged down, and bogged by bullshit that is basically kind of just really just like ridiculously slow shit. Um, I don't know why I'm infusing this gun because it's not going to matter. Now here's the thing: they're sunsetting the Traveler's Judgment. It's not. It's an older season gun. It's from the Curse of Osiris DLC, um, or season or whatever. Um, so they're sunsetting that. Their Parcel of Stardust was Season of the Drifter, I believe. It's going away. Also, there's a lot of things that I play with that are pretty much going to get kicked out. Now, I don't know if Better Devils is part of that sunsetting because it is a standard playlist drop from Crucible. Um, I know the Recluse is going away because that was a pinnacle weapon. All your ritual pinnacle weapons is going to go away. Fellwinter's Lie is going to get rotated out, in a couple of seasons after the fall expansion. This one won't because the Jotun's an exotic, and they've said that exotics are sheltered, so that's all right and fine and good. And World Line Zero, which is a catalyst I've been working towards getting. Um, so the Saros Regime stuff like that. But all my favorite Black Armory weapons that I've kicked my ass to get the catalyst to get curated rolls for. And this is not a curated roll. It's actually missing balanced guard, and that's the only thing it's missing. But I actually do prefer heavy guard, believe it or not. Swordmaster's Guard is okay for the charge race if you're doing lots of mob controls, but this is good enough for me. But it's got all the other perks. It's got all the other perks, which is why I masterworked it, including the impact masterwork. I went even so far as putting Obsidian Radiance on it. So I mean, these shred within the activity of the forge. So me used to saying that I don't like doing an activity to get guns to do the activity better. That used to be my idea back in Destiny 1 and the early part of Destiny 2. But when the Black Armory came around in Season of the Drifter, um, I just fell in love with it. I loved it because it reminded me so much of the Prison of Elders, which was one of my favorite activities in Destiny 1. Um, and then to that extent, the Menagerie is also kind of enjoyable, but the loot that drops from the Menagerie, nah, not really something I'm all that concerned about. So a lot of what's being sunsetted are guns from activities that I don't play or I have not been really all that interested in earning. Oh wait, I came down here to get Gambit bounties. So a lot of guns out of the Gambit are going to be taken out too. But my question has been, well, these activities, are they going to get their power caps raised? And if they get their power caps raised, the weapons you can earn from them, are they going to be sunsetted as well or allow new versions? So, for instance, um, let's get the weeklies. I'm going to go into some Gambit. Gambit. Um, Prime Daily Bounty. Not going to be able to do that. Neutralize high value targets and Gambit Prime. I can do that. I know my limits. So, my question is like, for instance, okay, well, take a look at his act. Take a look here. He's got some roles here that you can do. Okay, like the Trust. Okay, the Bad Omens. These were both ritual weapons, pinnacle weapons, um, that you unlocked by completing activities and doing levels for the Gambit. Now they are currently dropping at 750, but I can infuse them up to 1010, um, and I'll be able to go up to 1020, 1030, 10 whatever, whatever the power cap is. But come fall expansion, that's not going to be able to happen. They will never get more than I think 1060 or something like that. My question is that so the weapon that I earned in the previous seasons is uninfusable. But what if those weapons are still dropping in the activity? Can they be infused? That's kind of a question I've been searching for an answer for, and so far I've been listening to, as you can hear in the background, a couple of YouTubers. People aren't really answering that question specifically. They're doing it in a roundabout kind of way when they're talking about some activities are going to get their power levels raised, and those activities, of course, obviously, will be allowing you to get the weapons you used to have at a higher power level. Um, yeah, I'm going to pause him right now because it sounds like he's. This is a 2 hour long video. I'm not going to watch that shit. I just want a quick FAQ. But anyway, so yeah, so my questions, my own specific questions about the sunsetting is that if you can still get the guns in the game, or they're no longer going to be able to drop. And in other words, will my quest for the curated Kindle Orchid, um, not happen anymore? Will I no longer be able? I mean, I love this Orchid here is the best one. It's not the curated one, but it's got the range master work. It's got the accretized rounds. I think quick draw is part of it. I think kill clip is actually here, and there's something else here. I love this gun. This is a really good gun. I do play this gun quite a bit. Sometimes I will tandem wield hand cannons when I go into Crucible just to be a cowboy. But yep, yeah, Matrix. Okay, anyway. So yeah, my question is that if the guns from activities are being sunsetted, um, will those activities themselves be sunsetted? In other words, you will never get anything higher than 970 from the Drifter. You will never get anything. Um, why was I coming up here? I had questions. I had things. Questions are asked. I should have done things better. Um, oh, that's right. I was going to drop stuff in the vault because I'm going to be in Gambit, so I'll be filling my inventory with crap. I don't care about the parcel of Stardust. Blah, whatever. Um, Galliard. Let's see. I don't need this in my vault either. I'm not going to be doing that anytime soon. Oh yeah, so here we go. Spare rations. Okay, it's Gambit Prime Reckoning weapon. So if Gambit Prime and Reckoning or weapons are going to be sunsetted, does that mean the activity itself is going to be sunsetted? The most I'll ever get is a 1005 drop, which is because my power level is only 1005. I'm getting 1005s. 1010 is the current drop right now for the season at max level without the artifact. Um, so am I locked in with the 1010? Will I only ever get 1010 weapons from the Drifter and the Nine? So that's my question. I mean, is it worth me holding on to the opulent Stalker grips? 955 I think is the highest I got. 1000 is the highest I can get out of the Black Armory, as you can see. Because that was the power cap a few seasons ago. So I want that answer. Now, as far as sunsetting itself is concerned, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, imagine a game where yeah, here we go. Here's my trust. I have used these. I have used these up, and I do use them on occasion. But imagine a game where you have uh, a set that comes out every season, every quarter. There's a new set, and in that set you say hello to new cards and new game pieces, and then say goodbye to old game pieces. I'm talking about Magic the Gathering, basically. I have no problem with because Magic the Gathering has they have a eternal format, and then they have a rotating format, and the standard game is the rotating format where every few seasons release, every few quarters they release a new game and a new set, and it includes the last 2 to 3 sets, I think. But eventually those cards get unplayable, except in the Eternal formats, things like Commander or Standard, or not Standard, Masters or something like that, or whatever. Modern. That's the word I'm looking for. Modern. So I don't personally have a problem with sunsetting, but what I do have an issue with is what's it going to do towards the playlists that I enjoy? Because, like I said, I don't play the raids, and again, it's not really for. It really isn't because I don't have the patience to deal with stoned out fire team members or potatoes. or full team wipes after an hour of doing the same checkpoint. It's more about getting lagged and having a full team wipe because of it before the checkpoint completes, because that's just not excusable in the game for me. That's like saying, you're sitting there playing poker and you've got a $2,000 pot on the table, and you have the hand. You were running with the hand. It's a royal flush. I think that's like the best you can get in poker. Basic five card poker. And all of a sudden, somebody comes in and just pulls all your cards out of your hand. Pulls all the cards out of everybody's hands, reshuffles the deck, redeals out the deck, redeals out a fresh hand to everybody else, and that's it. And then you're stuck with junk in your hand. You'd probably kill the motherfucker. I would guess. And it's kind of the rage that I would feel, that I have felt many times with the raid, is that there's so many animations going on in the raid. There's so many things happening with the raid, and the raid has so many people in it. You know, that the game can't handle it. The engine can't handle it. It's not even about your console not being able to handle it. I mean, I go into Elder Scrolls Online, and the raid in Elder Scrolls Online is 12 players deep. Um, and just as many animations and just as many activities going on and interactables happening, and we very rarely lose a member or two to lag outs. I think there was one time I was doing I think I was doing the Burning City, I think it's called. I can't remember. It was to get the we were doing it for some armor pieces, and it was some meta build at the time we were all pursuing. It's been years ago. I'm talking. This is what I'm saying. It's been years ago that this happened, and we Imperial City. It was Imperial City. We're on the top floor, and I go to hit an enemy, but the enemy's not where it's supposed to be on my screen. I mean, I see it as being right in front of me, but he's actually to the side of me, and I miss the attack. And of course, that means that the enemy then gets to react, and it pushes me off the top of the platform, and I fall and die. That's because I die to lag, and that's how my characters die almost in every online game I play. I die because I'm either stuck reloading, trying to scramble to get a better weapon or reset a stat in my inventory, which I should be able to just access, or I'm killed in lag. And that lag could be native in the game, or it could be caused by an opponent. It doesn't matter. It's just the three ways I die the most in games is, you know, trying to fish something out of my inventory that should just be on a hotbar on your screen that you don't need an inventory access to get into, or dying to lag, which is the most common one, uh, or needing to recharge or reload my gear, and not that now recharging and inventory access, that's my bad. Honestly, it can really be summed up as being my problem. um, but and then of course map position, which is another problem. But the one I die to the most is not out of my control, because I have really good internet. I mean, I play online games all the time, and and I have been able to play things like Conan Exiles and Elder Scrolls Online, and 8-player Minecraft games, mini games included, uh, and running apps in the background. My phone's going, my Chromebook's going. I've got a website up on the background on the console because I'm accessing other stuff, and I can bounce between the game and the website in between rounds while I'm waiting to respawn in the lobbies or whatever. Never have any problems. I get into Destiny, and I get a text message. I have to hold my breath that the game's not going to fucking screw out on me. it's, this has turned into a lag rant again. Now I'm sorry. Back to the sunsetting thing. So I have no problem with my playing pieces, my game pieces being reset every 3 months or something like that. Um, I like that. I like that a lot. But my only concern and question is that if they're going to raise the power levels of these other activities, kind of keep them coming up with us, keeping them so-called quote-unquote challenging, um, what's going to happen to the loot that drops from those activities? Are they going to keep dropping at the sunsetted power cap, or are they going to drop at the new sunset power cap? Uh, I'm actually kind of excited, and for one thing, I don't like keeping a lot of inventory in my vault. Believe it or not, this is really kind of all I run with on a regular basis, is all these guns here. So yeah, that's about all I got to say for that. It's about a 20-minute video. I think I've taken enough of your time. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Spinfoil TV, and I have been your host, Hako, also known as Artist Poet. And yeah, have fun. I'm out of here.